What is going on, clan? Welcome back to Dark Souls 3, and what we're doing now is we're continuing on from the Firelink Shrine. We're going to drop down to the right side here and speak with Irina, and what you want to do is give her the Divine Tome that we picked up. That's going to unlock some spells or miracles there that we can get. We won't get them now, we'll just go ahead and talk to her. Exhaust her dialogue, and then we can go ahead and buy a ring. So that's going to be another ring towards the trophies. Again, we won't buy any miracles now unless you're, using them. You can definitely buy them. And you just want to make sure you also got the prayer emote from earlier. So you should have the prayer gesture. That should have unlocked back in the last part. As long as you have that, you bought the ring. We can go over here to Cornyx. Now with Cornyx, you're going to give him the Pyromancy Tome that we picked up. And then after that, we're going to go to Learn Pyromancies. And you can buy some of the spells again if you'd like. But you don't have to. It's completely up to you and your build. You can also upgrade your Pyromancy arm while we're here. And that's going to increase your damage as well. Once you're done with Cornyx, make your way over here to Greirat. Okay. Just go through the talk option. Just exhaust his dialogue. Make sure that he's just repeating himself. This is to make sure that the quest that we're doing is actually progressed. So after you've done that, he's repeating himself. You can make your way back towards the center of the Firelink Shrine. Now, I believe this guy's name was Hawkwood, something like that. But you can find this guy here in the chainmail. You just want to go through all of his dialogue. Just keep talking to him. And he's eventually going to give you some items. He gives you a heavy gem, and that will come in handy when we do the infusion trophy. Again, you need all of the types of gems for that trophy. After you've got the heavy gem from him as well, you can make your way back to the Crystal Sage Bonfire. So in the last part, we killed the Crystal Sage, and from this bonfire, we're going to go down the path that opened up after defeating him. There are some enemies here, but you can honestly just run past them. I have them killed for the video, but you can just run past them. It's only really that one and one of those cage guys. Make your way over the bridge. You're going to find another bonfire already, so you can go ahead and activate that. And then before we go up the stairs in front of us, we're going to go around to the left. There's a dark wraith guiding these ashes here. Guiding, bruh. Guarding is what I meant to say. You get the Paladin's ashes. You can make your way back up top. You can rest if you need to, especially if, the Dark Wraith was beating on you, which he wouldn't, because you guys are too damn good. Make your way up the stairs. We're going to keep going all the way up. There's going to be a lot of enemies. I'm honestly really fucking lazy, so I'm just going to run past all of them. There's a shitload of dogs. There's a lot of shit that just gets on you. It is possible you'll die if you're not rolling. But you have invincibility frames, so use them to your advantage. You might get hit by the crossbows, but that's really it, honestly. Just keep rolling. I noticed the dogs are really fucking dodgy. Like, they're just floating in the air and shit, and he managed to bite me. But you get a little bit of invincibility frames right here when you open the door. And then I just take them all out in there by using my shield. Whenever you use the shield on the dog, they kind of stagger. And then that's it. You can kill them if you'd like, or you can just try and run through like I did. Now, once the bonfire is lit, you can just run out of the cathedral. Make your way up the stairs to your right. There's going to be a group of enemies here. You can quickly take them out. They're not going to really attack you. There's going to be an Estus Shard that we can use to upgrade our flask a bit later. After that, we can proceed up the stairs. Now, the next bit of footage is actually sped up because my recorder had a bit of issues. This was quite a bit ago when I recorded this, and I wasn't able to re-record it because it obviously auto-saves. So yeah, as you can tell, the frames are a little bit choppy. I've sped it up though, just to make it a little bit less aneurysm on your eyes. And you just want to make your way through these enemies. Sometimes they are blocking the way, so you just want to, swipe your sword a few times or whatever weapon you're using, depending on the build you went with. Make your way all the way to the end, go over the bridge, go past that enemy, and then before you aggro this, kind of sword guy up there, you can just come down to the right, and over here is going to be an undead bone shard. So grab the undead bone shard. If you're quick, you can avoid all of these enemies. If they do hit you and you get maggots on you, you can equip a torch and that will get rid of them, because they can be a bit annoying as well and they eat through your health. After that, make your way to the staircase over here. You can drop down, go all the way down the ladder, and kick the ladder down. Thankfully, my footage isn't like this too much longer, so just bear with me, and I apologize for that, guys. And we can go up the staircase. We're going through these sort of cliff sides here, and there's a little kind of alleyway you can squeeze in the back. And there's going to be another ring back here. There is an enemy, but they are weak to fire, so if you went with my build, the fire gem does really quick work with them. And there you go, you can grab the Poisonbite Ring. After we grab that ring, we'll go right back to where we came from, where we kicked that ladder down. Make your way back up top. Jesus Christ, like I'm getting an aneurysm from the footage, so I'm sorry, guys. Look, hit me up. I'll give you some money for your medical bills. Look, man, it's hard out there, right? Okay, we're still going back up to the top. Again, watch out for that sword guy that's up here if you haven't killed him. He's pretty quick, but he's not too bad to kill. You'll make your way all the way up the staircase and then through this alleyway here. And then now you're going to be doing a bit of parkour on these rooftops. There are some assassins that fall down sometimes, so just be wary of them. I just run past all of these guys, to be honest. If you're really quick, you can run past all of this. Again, you can utilize the dodge button to get the invincibility frames. You can see it's still a bit risky because my health is really low. So I jump to the side, quickly use the pillar to block the enemies, and then I try to heal up. And then we run over here and then through this doorway. All the invincibility frames right here, so they will not even be able to touch us. I'm quickly spamming circles so I get through. We'll go all the way down here. We're going to unlock a shortcut, which is going to be really nice. Again, you can kill all of these enemies. We're just running past them. Once you see this lift on the left side, drop the lift down, and this is actually a shortcut that goes right back to the cathedral, so you won't have to keep running through all of those enemies anymore. So you only have to do it once. That's why I personally just run through, but obviously if you die, it takes a bit longer. We're going to go back to the Firelink shrine since we made it to the bonfire. We want to give the Handmaid the ashes that we picked up, the Paladin's ashes. You should have about 20k souls saved up. If you don't, you can grind some enemies just to buy the tower key. And again, you want to give her the Paladin's ashes. So buy the tower key for 20,000 souls. You can use some of the smaller souls that you have in your inventory. Just don't use the boss souls. And then after you've done that, you've turned in the Paladin ashes. You've got the tower key. We can then also burn an undead bone shard that we picked up to increase our flask potency. And then we can travel back to the cathedral, and we're going to make use of that shortcut we just unlocked. So for the shortcut, you just go back as you did before. Thank God the footage is back to normal. Again, I'm sorry for that, guys. It was an old clip, and I wasn't really able to fix it, so I apologize. Okay, next up, you're going to come through this area. There's going to be a giant, what the fuck? And there's a ring right here. So you just kind of want to do a drive-by really quick. Grab it really, really quick and start rolling here at the end, because sometimes he can still hit you, especially with all the enemies attacking you. And he can knock you back. So just try to get through there. You'll come down these first set of stairs, and then you want to make your way to the left. So I'll give you that as a reference point. You'll come into this room here. Now there are assassins on the ceiling as well as like on the side right there. You can kind of see some hanging. There's one on the left and then one on the top. You just really want to be careful. Make sure they don't jump you, because you don't really want to die and have to redo shit. So I threw a fireball to get his ass down. The other one is like, I don't know what the fuck he's trying to attack. But there's actually a miracle we can grab over here. So that goes for some of the spell trophies that we're going to need. After you've grabbed that, what we can do from this point here, you can either kill the enemy if you want the souls or not. Okay, so after you kill him, we'll make our way back to where we turned on the staircase. So we went down that first set of stairs. This time we're actually going down the next set of stairs. You're going to see a room with a chest in there. Do not open the chest. It's actually a mimic. And we want to attack the mimic and kill it. Now, while we're playing the game and killing mimics, if you get lucky, you will get something called the Symbol of Avarice. And that's something we need for farming Covenant items later on. I got lucky and I actually got it from here. Again, you might not necessarily get this drop, but the other drop that we do want to pick up is the Tome. So make sure you pick up the Divine Tome. If you do get lucky and get a symbol of avarice throughout your playthrough, do not sell it because we will use it for Covenant farming at the end. And if you don't get one, I'm going to show you how we can get one for you towards the end of the guide when we do the farming. That way I can get the actual item needed for it and make sure that your farming is much easier on you guys. After that, we're going to make our way down the steps to our right. Now you can see some of the assassins will attack you from up above, so you just want to make sure you're not getting sniped. You're going to find this room here with a knight. Now I ran past him, but you do want to kill him. What I'm doing is I'm running in this big open room to trigger the spider on the ceiling. And here he comes, he just dropped on my head. And what we want to do is we want to kill him. So I killed the knight and then I just trapped him there and I just started using fireball. That's really all you have to do. You can use your magic flask if you have to, or just go in, get a hit or two, and then jump back and get a hit or two, whatever you need to do. Once he dies, make sure you pick up the item he drops. It's going to be a ring towards our total ring count. Again, this isn't applicable for you if you had a friend drop you the rings. Make our way outside and to the right. So outside of that room where we killed the spider, and you'll be in this big open area. Now you may get invaded right here if you have Ember, but you can just ignore him. You can also kill him if you do find that it's allowing you not to fast travel or anything like that, as if it's keeping you in combat. But make your way through here on this doorway at the very end, and we'll head down this shortcut here. This is going to be another shortcut to get to the cathedral. There's actually two shortcuts here. So there's this door here you can open, and then you open the other door forward, and this leads back to the cathedral. You can rest if you need to restock on supplies, because we're going to go a different way this time. We're going to go through the doorway we just opened, and we're going to take the lift upwards. Now once you get up here, you want to hug the wall to the left, go around the side, and you're going to find a ladder. There's going to be an enemy at the top of the ladder here, and you want to kill him to get another ring. So he's not anything special, he just for some reason drops a ring. So kill him. You'll grab a deep ring. And then from this point here, we'll just come off the edge on the left side here. You do want to make sure you kind of roll over and land on this thing, so you'll be back on the rooftop. And on this rooftop, there are a few enemies, as well as, like you can see here, an assassin popped up behind me. If you have your game sound on, you can definitely hear them sneaking up on you. And all down here is going to be some enemies, but I did clear them out just for the sake of the video to make it nice and easy for you guys. So we're going to run all the way to the end. There's a Covenant item you want to grab, so that way you have to do less farming at the end of the game. And we're grabbing these passively as we go through the game, just to make your farming a little bit easier. So there's going to be a Pale Tongue here at the very end of this pathway. After that, we're going to turn back around. We're going to go almost to where we initially came up. You can see these doorways here. You don't have to go in the exact doorway as me, but it does kind of help to go around this area. You know you're kind of in the right spot if you see a giant knight to your right. And you can see that platform to my right as well. So there's a knight to the left. There's a knight to the right, but you don't even have to fight them. You just want to dodge the arrow, dodge this guy as well, because he started, yeah, he's bad, he fell. And then just fall on the platform here. And then you can fall down again. You will take a bit of damage, so make sure you are healed up before you fall. You really don't want to be, the one to die from fall damage. It's not a good feeling. Now in this area here, a lot of these enemies are weak to fire still. You can kill all of those, or you can just skip past them. You can tell I wanted to kill them, but I was like, nah. So then what we need to do is run all the way to the end of this area, kill this guy. Now he's going to drop a red sign soapstone, and you can kill all of these guys as well, but if you're really quick, you can dodge through and then open up this doorway, and we're going to unlock another bonfire. Just don't get caught between so many of them, because they will absolutely shred you. So if you can make it to the bonfire, I recommend doing so, just so you don't die. Now, when you get in here, I know your ass is going to want to talk to this lady in front of you so fucking quick. But I'm going to tell you not to do that. It will ruin some trophies, and we won't talk to her just yet. It'll be later on in the guide. So please do not talk to her, social distance, and then we can leave her chamber after you've activated the bonfire. Next, what we're going to do is run back to the area we dropped down to. You will need to kill the enemies more than likely so you don't get kind of gangbanged by them. You want to quickly pull the lever, and as the wall is going down, you want to kind of use it as a lift. Now again, if you got invaded earlier, it's back in that open room, so you might need to kill that guy, but he's not hard. You'll smash it out. Now you want to just keep rolling away from the giant so you don't get hit, and you want to grab this item before we leave the area. So it'd be another Pale Tongue, which is a covenant item to make the farming a little bit easier, and then make your way up the staircase, past that giant, and then up here. Now there's going to be a giant area with a lot of enemies, and we are going to fucking run all the way behind them because we are going to the boss. Now behind this area is the boss room. You'll see the fog wall. Now the boss is really easy. I mean, I said that and like I've never died on him, and then when I did this video for some reason I died. But a tip you can do as well is if you have any alluring skulls, you can equip them, put them on your action bar, and then that way if you throw it, they're going to kind of be aggroed to that skull instead of yourself, so that way you don't get swarmed by them. So to best explain this boss, you see that person on the couch? That's me. Now, so you don't end up like myself, the way the boss works is you will see one of these enemies here have an aura of red around them. That is the target you want to focus your attacks on. Once you kill them, that red aura is going to transfer to a different one. And it's essentially just going to keep doing that, and you just kind of want to kite them around so that way you're not trapping yourself in between them. Otherwise, you'll end up like me in that photo. And although it was a fun time, I don't think you guys want that. So again, you can see sometimes I'm taking out, some that are in my way. That's fine too. As long as you're not getting surrounded, that's ultimately what you want to avoid. You can use the alluring skull as well, like I said. And sometimes I cast a spell here and there because it hits multiple people. But you see how I'm constantly kiting around them just so you're not getting cornered. That's kind of the best way to do it. I find having your weapon out like that as well, where you can hit multiple, it just makes it a bit easier. Now, once they get fairly low on HP, there's going to be these big guys that spawn out as well as a priest, and he can heal. So you do want to play a bit more aggressive because they also curse you. So just play a bit more aggressive in phase 2. Make sure you don't get trapped, and you will kill the Deacons of the Deep. After you've done that, you can activate the bonfire and head back to the Firelink Shrine. Make your way up the stairs here to the right, speak with Anri and Horace, just go through all of their dialogue options and exhaust their dialogue. So once they start repeating each other, again, Horace is a man of many words. And that's pretty much it. Make sure they're repeating themselves multiple times. I tend to do it just so that way I know the quest has progressed, because you don't really have any other way to know. After that, if you haven't purchased the tower key from the Handmaid, go ahead and do so now. Then we're going to make our way upstairs and then up these stairs again, sort of where Patches is, but instead we're going on the outside here through these archways. Now what you want to do is go up the staircase, use the tower key to open up this door. We're going to go all the way to the top of the tower. And then once you're on top, make your way across the bridge. You'll see a gate in front of you that's already open. You can go through the gate and then take the lift up. Now after the lift, keep going up the stairs to your right. Eventually you'll come to an open area with an item in the middle. This item is the Firekeeper Soul. So grab that and then we can continue on with the guide. We're going to actually make our way back down the lift and the stairs. And you remember Patches, you remember how he's such a great guy? Well, this See You Next Tuesday locked us inside the tower. So I'm not sure why, but he's a bit of an asshole. Go ahead and exhaust all of his dialogue options. He's basically just being a smug prick. Now, once he starts repeating himself, there is a certain path you have to take to get out of the tower. We're also going to be getting a ring here. So follow my path. So if you were facing the gate, it's going to be your left. you'll see a crypt or a coffin hanging out of the wall. Jump from the middle of the bridge. I totally meant to do that, and I didn't miss it, obviously. But just make sure you keep healing yourself as you fall, otherwise you can die. At the very bottom, you will find an Estus Ring, and you're going to find a exit outside of the gate. Now, there is a samurai here who drops a katana. You can always kill him if you'd rather use a katana than the sword. Or you can just run past him, which I recommend doing. Like, this guy is fucking insane. So run past him, make your way back into the Firelink Shrine. All you have to do is wrap around there. We're going to go back up towards the top. And before we go into the tower, we're actually going to do a little bit of hardcore parkour, right? Now, once you're up here right before the tower, you want to just take all of your clothes off. That's right. Take them all off. This will make you a bit lighter, and you want to just try and run up the tree and then jump off and land on the roof. Eventually, you should be able to get up there if you do the jump right. Just keep trying. It won't be too hard. And then you can put back on your gear. You can grab some homeward bones right here. There's 3 of them. And when you go over here, there's going to be an entrance that leads you into the top of the Firelink Shrine. So it's sort of like the rafters. You just want to be careful. Make sure you're hugging the wall. There's no enemies or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, there's a Estus Shard here that we can grab. And then what you want to do is stand on the nest in the middle, drop 1 homeward bone. And if you did that correctly, you'll get the call over gesture. Make sure you grab this gesture before moving on. If you drop the item and it feels like it didn't register, then you can pick it back up and try again. After you get the gesture, quit the game and then reload the game. And then what we'll do next is from the nest, we can go forward, smack the wall because you can see there was a sign that said illusion ahead. Run all the way to the end of this path and then drop down. You're going to find a chest with another ring in it. Perfect. After grabbing that ring, you can just jump through the hole here to get back into the Firelink Shrine a little bit easier. Then we're going to go around the side here on the left side. We are heading back up towards the top where Patches is normally situated. So make your way back up the stairs, basically as if we were going to the tower again, but instead of going outside, we're just going to go straight down the hall. Now it's going to give you an option to forgive him, but we don't forgive that asshole. So make sure you choose do not forgive him. He tries to tell you he's sorry, but let's be honest, he's not. He doesn't care about us. So again, choose do not forgive him. The good news is though, even though we don't forgive him, he still gives us a gesture and he's going to give us his prostate. So that'll already put us at 11. So shout out to Patches for giving us his prostate. We have 11 out of 26 gestures. And then after you do that and you go through his dialogue, quit the game. We're going to reload the game. And now, when you talk to him, you get Patches squat. And now we're not going to forgive him, but we did get 2 gestures from him, which is awesome. So after you've done that, you can just drop down on the right side here. Just watch out for Lionheart there. I landed on his head. And then head to Rosaria's chamber. Again, we're still not talking to Rosaria. We're going to exit out of her chamber. We're going to avoid these little worm guys. And we're going to use that bridge that we used earlier as a lift to get to the Deacons of the Deep boss. But this time you want to pull it up, make it as a bridge. And the reason we're going over here is to open a door. This is going to trigger another part of a quest. And the quest won't progress until you open this door. Okay, so open that door. Then make your way back to the bonfire, which is just again over that bridge. After you've done that and you're at the bonfire, come to the Cathedral of the Deep. Now this is the quest line that we were opening that door for. He only comes here if you have that door open. You can kill the enemy and you will find Siegeward in the well right here. So he's down in the well and he's lost his armor. Well, he didn't lose his armor. Someone swiped it. And you bet your sweet ass it's still that see you next Tuesday, Patches. Patches is still fucking doing that bullshit, man. This is why you don't forgive him, man. You take the gestures, but he's still doing that bullshit. So go through all of Siegeward's dialogue, make your way back to the Firelink Shrine, and once you return here, We're going to make our way all the way up to the top, back to where Patches is at. And once you make it back to Patches, he will have a shop available. You would hit purchase item, and you can actually buy Siegeward's armor. Now you're going to need souls for this, so again, you can use the smaller ones if you don't have enough, or you can just kill some enemies and get some souls. You only need the headpiece, the chest piece, the gauntlets, and the leggings. That's the only items you need to actually continue his quest. After that, you can go through some dialogue, just kind of make sure he's repeating himself. And while you're here, why don't we get a ring as well? So go ahead and purchase this Horsehoof Ring. So that'll be another ring knocked out. Make your way back to Siegeward by going to the Cathedral of the Deep, going to the well, and then throwing him the armor. So you have the option to throw him the armor. Now you're going to keep talking to him and exhaust his dialogue. After you've done that, he's going to be a real one and give us another gesture. And again, I like to still talk to them a few times. It just makes sure that the quest is progressing. After that, we'll head back inside to the bonfire. We're going to go to the Farron Keep bonfire. Now, would it be a Dark Souls game without some bullshit-ass poison area? No, it wouldn't. So as you come out this way here, you're going to hug the wall to the right. You're going to see an item off into the poison. It doesn't matter if we get poisoned. We're going to lose health very slowly, but it doesn't change the fact that this area is ass cancer. Pick up the Iron Flesh spell, so we have that one done, and then head back to the bonfire. I did break up this area into the next video as well, just so that way you're not overwhelmed with some swamp bullshit. From the bonfire, this time you're going to head straight and then go a bit left. You'll go under an archway bridge that's destroyed, and you can find an Estus Shard. Just watch out for the slugs. Grab the Estus Shard. Again, you can run back to the bonfire. You don't really have to do that every time. I'm just sort of using it as a reference point. So if you're familiar with the swamp area, you can kind of just see where I'm at. The poison doesn't really do that much damage, and you can heal through some of it. But again, go to the bonfire as a reference point if you need to. This time we're going on the left side of the map. We're going on these islands here. Going on the islands as well will avoid a little bit of the poison at least. But eventually you'll come here where there's some slugs. You just want to run through here. Try and follow along. If you need to slow down the video, you can. You'll find a dark wraith guarding a tower. You can completely ignore him if you're quick. Run inside. We're going to grab the Sage's Cull. After we got the Sage's Cull, make your way back from where we just ran from. So again, we're running back. We're going to hug the wall to the left on our way back. You'll see the slugs that we ran past. And then you're going to find this hillside that you can actually climb up some stairs. Make your way up the stairs. There are going to be enemies here and there, so just watch out for these enemies up on the stairs. You can use the shield to your advantage, or you can use running to your advantage. That's what I did because fuck killing those guys. And then we're going to make our way to the left side, drop down here, and go down the stairs. Keep going forward. You're going to see another island. As you can see, the poison really doesn't do much damage. And again, I'm just running past all of these enemies. We're going to unlock another bonfire. This will be sort of like a checkpoint for us. Make your way up the stairs on this island. Now later on, we will come back through here anyways as part of the guide. So don't worry about those fires that you have to put out to open up the doorway. Just follow me here. Go past the enemies on the bridge there and then activate the bonfire. You can rest here if you're poisoned, which you more than likely are. And then we're going to head down the path here, down this bridge. You'll see a doorway up ahead. We're not going to go there yet. And you'll see all these items over to the left. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go right back into the glorious poison. So jump off the bridge to your left. You'll see a giant ass crab in the background. That way you know you're in the right spot. I'm not sure what happened here. I got kind of stuck right here. But once the crab's aggroed, if you bring him over to this white tree, you can not only use it to block him from attacking you, but the giant, you remember him? Yeah, he just slapped the fuck out of the crab for me. GG, easy clap. And the ring will automatically go into your inventory as well. So make sure the crab dies and you get the ring. Now from the white tree, you do want to hug this wall on the right side and make your way all the way down. Again, you're more than likely poisoned. Just heal yourself when needed. There are going to be enemies up ahead, so I wouldn't go into this area with low health, especially while poisoned. But as we get to the shallow end of the poison, we can run through it. Now, as you can see here, there's going to be a lot of enemies. There's probably about 4 there, so just carefully take them out. And then at the very back, you will find a Sage Scroll. This is another scroll that we'll give to Orbeck that we grabbed in the last video. And after you grab the Sage's Scroll, you can make your way back from the way that we came. So basically where the crab was initially and where we jumped off the bridge. You can also use that big door as a reference point, so you can see it off in the distance there. Make your way over to this bridge that we were at before where we activated the bonfire. You're going to see a tower with some slugs to the right of us. So if you run in there, you just want to make sure the slugs don't kill you because there's a fair bit in there. But you can quickly jump in, grab the Undead Bone Shard, and then jump out. Now you can see I aggroed some other enemies, so I just ran back up to the bonfire and reset them, as well as got rid of my poison. So after you grab the Undead Bone Shard, the next area we're going to go to is to the right. We're almost to the end of the video, guys, so that means you're halfway through the swamp part, which is awesome because, like I said, man, fuck the swamp. You're going to find this spot to the right of that tower we were just in where the Undead Bone Shard was. You might need to kill a couple slugs here so you can gain access to the ladder. But then you're going to climb the ladder, and once you're on top, you're going to find a new bonfire, and I will see you guys in the next video. And if you are one of my real ones and you're still using my guide, why don't you leave a comment below that says, "The swamp sucks ass." See ya.